It's nice. It's not. It's definitely not. It definitely is not. It's not. No, it isn't. Flash.
So there are two separate ways of creating music on the computer. The first one is where you simply type in letters or click on a piano Super Jam or Band in the Box. C, D, E, F. I guess you need to know whether these are going to be minors or majors. So a little bit of thinking. And the other side of making music on a computer, we'll go back to where it all started for me with Fruity Loops. And funnily enough, 26 years later, I'm finally motivated to learn to use it. So to buy it now, oh, what? $50. Now it's $159. Well, there's something you can buy. 159 AU New Zealand dollars. $200, say. Eight audio clips open only. Bloody hell. So really you need 369. Which is $451 for the full version of this. So this is as far as I've got with it last year. So Fruity Loops, GarageBand, So, Fruity Loops, GarageBand, Walkband, and now, thank God for that, some idiot deleted their phone. Me. But I got Caustic 3 running full version again. Now, the thing is, these programs, apart from Fruity Loops, it's virtually impossible to export the songs. So what I'm going to do is use these versions as guidelines. Well, Fruity Loops doesn't count because you can just simply export it as a MIDI file. As simple as that. So that's that sorted. And then you simply copy it to center. Go to center. Drag and drop it. And nothing. Nothing at all. Okay. Okay, well. We're just gonna have to say Fruity Loops is out. Unfortunately. Bye.
Atomically modern human morphology emerges slowly over 7 million years through over 24 species and thousands of individual specimens from our last common ancestry with chimpanzees. These species that act as missing links, which have been uncovered over the centuries, show incontrovertibly the evolutionary history of Homo sapiens from the rather unassuming Miocene apes. Given how many hominid species are known and the transitional morphologies they display, the entire field of biological anthropology must somehow be called into question. The illustrations and drawings of these missing links are often highly speculative. To the creationist, there can only be what we see today. There are apes and there are humans, and nothing in between. Of course, the word apes simply means members of the family Hominidae, so this is a bit like saying that there are only canines and dogs and nothing in between. It doesn't science very clearly says otherwise. Rather humorously, they can't even agree on the distinction, as certain transitional species get labeled as apes by one creationist organization, like Answers in Genesis, and as humans by another, like the DI. But beyond this confusion, they also just flat out distort what science says.
Quite a few paleoanthropologists think that Neanderthals buried their dead, that they have been discovered with signs of high intelligence, including art and culture. So although many artist impressions will depict Neanderthals as very primitive, if a Neanderthal were to walk in the door right now, you would not be able to distinguish them most likely from a modern human being.
Well, yeah, Homo neanderthalensis lived concurrently with Homo sapiens, and we did not evolve from them. In fact, it wasn't until we left Africa that we encountered them in Eurasia and either outcompeted them or killed them. Luskin is pretending that science proposes we evolved from Neanderthals. It doesn't. But let's get to the main act. The primary target of the video is Lucy, the famous set of fossils belonging to a member of Australopithecus afarensis, one of many important intermediary species. The DI needs to convince the viewer that it is really just an ape. The centerpiece of this campaign is a PBS Nova documentary from 1994 called In Search of Human Origins. Featured within is an anthropologist named Owen Lovejoy. Let's check out a bold accusation made by Luskin and pals. This PBS documentary shows anthropologist Owen Lovejoy manipulating the fossils
So there are two separate ways of creating music on the computer. The first one is where you simply type in letters or click on a piano Super Jam or Band in the Box. C, D, E, F. I guess you need to know whether these are going to be minors or majors. So a little bit of thinking. And the other side of making music on a computer, we'll go back to where it all started for me with Fruity Loops. And funnily enough, 26 years later, I'm finally motivated to learn to use it. So to buy it now, oh, what? $50. No, it's $159. There's something you can buy. 159 AU New Zealand dollars. $200, say. Eight audio clips open only. Bloody hell. So really you need 369. Which is $451 for the full version of this. So this is as far as I've got with it last year. So, Fruity Loops, GarageBand, so Fruity Loops, GarageBand, Walkband, and now thank God for that. Some idiot deleted their phone. Me. But I got Caustic 3 running full version again. Now, the thing is, these programs, apart from Fruity Loops, it's virtually impossible to export the songs. So what I'm going to do is use these versions as guidelines. Well, Fruity Loops doesn't count because you can just simply export it as a MIDI file. As simple as that. So that's that sorted. And then you simply copy it to center. Go to center. Drag and drop it. And nothing. Nothing at all. Okay. Okay, well. We're just gonna have to say Fruity Loops is out. Unfortunately. Bye.
Anatomically modern human morphology emerges slowly over 7 million years through over 24 species and thousands of individual specimens from our last common ancestry with chimpanzees. These species that act as missing links, which have been uncovered over the centuries, show incontrovertibly the evolutionary history of Homo sapiens from the rather unassuming Miocene apes. Given how many hominid species are known and the transitional morphologies they display, the entire field of biological anthropology must somehow be called into question. The illustrations and drawings of these missing links are often highly speculative. To the creationist, there can only be what we see today. There are apes and there are humans, and nothing in between. Of course, the word apes simply means members of the family Hominidae, so this is a bit like saying that there are only canines and dogs and nothing in between. It doesn't actually make sense. But of course what they mean is that humans are a special creature made by a deity precisely as we are, and that there are no transitional species. Therefore, anything science labels a must be either a fully human hominin or a just an ape hominin. So Homo erectus was fully human, Australopithecus afarensis was just apes, and so forth. They must pretend that all of these fossils are either humans or apes, even though the science very clearly says otherwise. Rather humorously, they can't even agree on the distinction, as certain transitional species get labeled as apes by one creationist organization, like Answers in Genesis, and as humans by another, like the DI. But beyond this confusion, they also just flat out distort what science says.
Quite a few paleoanthropologists think that Neanderthals buried their dead, that they have been discovered with signs of high intelligence, including art and culture. So although many artist impressions will depict Neanderthals as very primitive,
what makes a game? And when I ask what makes a game, I mean it in a way that what makes a game, what draws you into a good game, what's the thing that draws you in, and why out of all the games that I own, I will never play some of them, and there are some that I just can't go without. I love them to death. So we've got Diablo 3 up on the screen at the moment. I've just finished Diablo 3. So to begin this, I began this journey with picking one game, just one game out of all my games that I own. Xbox, PlayStation, Switch 2, 3DS. Just one game. Well, because it's me, that includes Windows 3.1, Windows 95, Windows 90, blah, 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 blah. So, my one game, at the time, this is when I started this project 1 month ago, my one game was Diablo. This is the Windows... Oh, SimCity 4's in your Diablo case if you're looking for it. Just so you know, and it's got water on it. It's sitting by the window. Okay, they're going to be pulled away from the window tonight. Oh no, you idiot! It's all soggy now. So I've got Warcraft, Orcs and Humans, Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness, Warcraft 2 expansion set, and coming in 1997 is StarCraft. So you're going to have to let that dry, you bimbo. Oh god, this happened to my James Pond CD. Oh no, please, please, please. Oh shit. Okay, they're all moving. So this project started with Diablo 1, and it really did start with the actual disk, installing it onto Windows XP through VirtualBox, and nothing happened. It was crap. Can you change screens like that? For some reason, in between shots, it fades and changes the camera. Fuck. So I played Diablo Beelzebub straight off whatever program I downloaded it. I've still got that version. Then GOG happens to release the Beelzebub mod. It was like, what, $3, $4? This is Dawn of Magic, 89 cents. When you're into games as old as I am, that they're really cheap. Really, really cheap. Anywho, so I'm stuck on okay, so Beelzebub, there's no Hellfire. And I have lost my Hellfire add-on. Okay, anyway, so there's no Hellfire, so I downloaded, I went back to the other version that I was playing, which is just Diablo plus Hellfire. And I'm on level 5 and I die 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 and I got pissed off and I stopped playing it. And maybe after this weekend, taking a few days off, I'll start playing it again. So the next step, pull out the big gun, Diablo 2. Diablo 2 is a big story in all itself. There's the key, CD key if you want it. Actually, I don't think I ever owned... No, because it's new, isn't it? We've got to go to BattleNet. Sorry, we've got to go to BattleNet for the next bit. B for BattleNet. For Windows 2000, 98, 95, NT and the Macintosh. So if you got a Macintosh, you can borrow this. How much is that? That's the problem with these newer ones. They're always asking for money. $140. Yeah, nah, not yet. No, not till I finish Diablo 2. So, Diablo 2. I installed it into Windows XP, but it was just in such a small window, I couldn't see what I was playing. And then I found BattleNet. I found BattleNet because I typed into Google, can you give me a way to play the actual game on the desktop on Windows 10? And I found a workthrough for that and it ran okay, but then they released Diablo 2 on their shop. So I bought it and yeah, I know. When you see the actual video, this is the behind the scenes, so when you actually see the video, you'll see the stuttering in the game playing it off the CD. The way it just skips or glitches. So anyway, how do I get to my game? So I've been playing I didn't own the one I just bought. I didn't own it back then. Is it called something of the Warlock? I don't know what a season is yet. I'm new to this online stuff. But I just bought the Warlock. Now that I've bought it, it's not going to come up on their thing, is it? The Reign of the Warlock. So I just bought that on the Switch because I have a huge amount of money saved on the Switch for Majora's Mask. Well, for me it's Majora's Mask. For the rest it's Ocarina of Time, the remake. And then still thinking about selling the 3DS, but that's a huge ask. So Switch 2, I bought the Reign of the Warlock and played that through to the Shadow Man. The fuck? Summoner, sorry. And this is, I didn't go into that world with the summoner as in the Switch version. So on this version, the BattleNet, I was playing as the werewolf. Oh god, the druid. So this doesn't have, the original game didn't have that, the druid and the sorcerer or whatever, a few characters that went on it. So I played it through, Diablo 2, I played through to the end without any add-ons. Any of the... They're not going to tell me, are they? The add-on where you get the druid. I'll have to Google it. Diablo 2 Druid Add on. Lord of Destruction. But that's, oh, I've got that. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Okay, I got. What are you hiding in there? Oh, right. Indiana Jones is in your Lord of Destruction case. Wow. Okay. So, yeah. So, it's because you bought so many different copies of the same game. That's the problem is. Look, Heretic's getting a bit warped. If you're going to look after your games, keep them in away from the window and in a nice warm place. Because look, it's gone purple at the bottom now. Your Ning Nong. What's that disc? Diablo. So, played it through without Lord of Destruction, played it through with Lord of Destruction, and I died at Summoner. Got as far as the Summoner and I died. Because, yeah, whoa, shit, where's the cover gone? Don't you just wish you could be as confused as me? It's drying somewhere. There it is, right there. It's drying. Okay. I died on the Summoner. And because I did what I wanted to do the whole time, all these years, waiting for this game to run properly, played as the wolf, as a druid, because you can turn into a wolf and apparently other animals, but I haven't even got that far yet. So I restarted the whole of Diablo 2, and I started with the druid, and I typed in the best weapon, and I found Tornado. But to get to Tornado, I had to do Fireball. But I upped my Fireball so much that I just wiped out the entire first level, whatever you call it, up to the Summoner. I played right up to the Summoner with Fireballs. Then I died. And then I went back and I died. And then I went back and I died. And then I went back and I died. Then I decided to put my thinking hat on, did a lot of thinking, realized, what if what if I play with my favorite weapon of all time, the crossbow, the Skyrim of Skyrims, the crossbow. So I got a little bit further closer to the Summoner with the crossbow, and I died and I died and I died. And I'm thinking this Warlock on the Switch. Well, I bought Warlock on the BattleNet now, but I don't want to play him yet on the BattleNet. I want to play him on the Switch. Maybe he'll have better weapons against the Summoner. Anyway, switching back to screen 1. I don't know why it fades like that between shots. So, obviously, this is 2 months ago now. I put Diablo 3. I don't remember which one. I've now owned it on the Xbox. I own it on the PS3. That's it. So I bought Diablo 3 without... Now I've got to get up again. Such hard work. I just bought Skyrim for $5 on the PS3 for no reason at all. So what I did was I bought this. And this is just the original game without Reaper of Souls. There's the Xbox version. Here's the PS3 version. And I played it without Reaper of Souls for maybe a couple of days and thought, nah, this isn't, something's missing here. So Reaper of Souls it was, and I've beaten Diablo 3 on the Battle.net, on the Switch 2, on the Xbox, and on the PS3. So why is there some games that you don't want to play, have a go at, no longer any interested? I've never actually fought, I've never, with Diablo, I've never forced myself to keep playing a game where I was dying and dying and dying before, so that's why that's all happening. But that's not really what I mean. I mean, why don't I play war games or battle, army and destruction and games killing other humans and that type of thing? Why do I have a specific genre or why do I have a certain brand of games that I'm obsessed with and ones that I'm not? And I am selling the PSP because all of my Lego games are now either on the Switch here or on the PS3 in full screen, even though I bought a mod that pipes the PSP to my new 32-inch, whatever you call that, screen. So it's not on there. It's not on the Xbox. No, it's not. So after I've beaten Diablo 3 4 times, I bought something. Actually had it on. You keep an eye on it when the price comes down, and there's always a sale. And now there's an update. So I would say before last week, Diablo 3 was my all-time favorite game, and now Diablo 4 is my all-time favorite game. So I'm beginning to understand why it is that game companies will release a game and then release a sequel to that game. Because I've gone through the phase of playing Diablo 3 and starting to fall asleep because I've beaten it so many times. There's nothing more challenging. Now I know I could put it on bloody impossible mode or difficult mode, but I might do that later. But anyway, I've got Diablo 3, so I've maxed out Diablo 3. I've beaten Orpheus, Malfoy, whatever the frick his name is. Beaten him 4 times, and I'm now going to join this Rise of the Necromancer. Okay. All sorts of stuff that I can do. There's so much to... Wow. So all the games that were just on DOS, I now got all these updated switching screens. I've all got remakes, re-releases, remastered, whatever. So I just bought Warcraft 1 remastered when I find out. See, this is the only game I never played on DOS or Windows 95, 98. was the Warcraft. I played the StarCraft, I played Red Alert, Red Alert 2, Age of Empires. Never played Warcraft. And now there's World of Warcraft, and there's this huge thing. What's it called? World of Warcraft, which is $1,000, $144. So, you know, all the games that I started with Microsoft DOS, because you know, before the CD version of Doom, before this, Doom was installed from 4 floppy disks, and there was a demo on disc 1. So I've gone from floppy disks to physical media to whatever this is. Just open air internet games that, well, they're installed onto your hard drive, but you still need an account to play them. You know, if you were going to go old school, I'd fire up my old Windows 98 SE and still. No, you can't though, because when I do the Doom series, you couldn't look up and down. Well, you could, but page up, page down. There's just, it's so much better, and with all the graphic upgrades to, especially my favorite game of all time, which is still by the window. You better rescue it. Hexen 1. The community has made all these amazing mods and graphic upgrades and everything for my specific heretic purpose of completing this project. The project is all the games I bought since the release of Doom. So this one's 1993, and then I bought Doom. Oh well, that's Doom 95. So that was running on Windows 95. From floppy disk. So all the games that I own in physical media, I want to beat them in the order that I purchased them in. It's going to take a few years. Red Alert 2, Tiberian Sun, Age of Empires, Age of Empires 2. Now, with Age of Empires 3, I never owned it on physical media. So all those are the new ones. Age of Empires, Age of Mythology, Age of Empires 4. You know, all of these. And of course, because it's me, I now own Doom, Doom 2, Duke Nukem, Final Doom, Half-Life, Heretic, Hexen, Quake, Quake 2, Kingpin, all on Steam. Because you have to have 8 copies of the same game. You have to. You know, I've got 2 physical copies of Quake the Reckoning, Quake 2 the Reckoning, and now I've got it on Steam. Rise of the Triad. I've never owned a physical copy of Wolfenstein 3D because I came in after that game. But if we go to Age of Empires, so Age of Empires 2, 3, 4, Age of Mythology. Got to beat all of those, and then if we go to EA, So I got Command and Conquer 3, 4. I've never played 4. Don't own a physical copy of it. Red Alert 2, Yuri's Revenge, Red Alert, the Ants, and this I've still got them in the boxes. Counter Strike and the Aftermath. Renegade, I don't know what that is. Tiberian Sun and the Firestorm add-on. Red Alert 3, I got that on EA and I got it on PS3. And the Command and Conquer finally turned out that that was the game in Windows. Would have been Windows 3.1, Windows 95. It would have had to be Windows because of the sound card way it automatically picks up the sound card. And when you install this game, it spits at you as though it's going to crash your computer. So that's a memory I got back. So I'm playing all the oldest games from Doom to Red Alert, Command and Conquer Tiberian Sun, and 3 and 4, and whatever Renegade is just a bonus that I'll play when I've beaten all those ones. So I started this off talking about beating just one game at a time, and the one game was Diablo, and then it was Diablo 2, and then it was Diablo 3, and now it's Diablo 4. So, having said that, I haven't played anything that wasn't Diablo 1, 2, 3 or 4 for months, and I'm coping okay. Before that, I would be switching between all of these hundreds of games and not getting anywhere in any of them, and just wondering why I was forgetting what I was doing. So, for 2026, there'll be no more Link's Awakening, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Yoshi's Crafted World, Super Mario, and Skyward Sword. These ones are going to be games that I'm playing while I'm writing the soundtracks to the big videos, unless these games are going to become the big videos as well. The history of role-playing games, the history of third-person shooters, etc. I forgot I bought Civ 4. I've never owned it on physical media, any of the versions. I just bought it because I know about it. I don't like those type of games. Doom, Doom 2, Heretic, Hexen, Quake, Quake 2, Doom 64. And of course, there's a huge Switch collection of 6 Star Wars games coming in the mail from the US. And on top of those 6, we've got Lego Star Wars, Skywalker Saga, Marvel Superheroes, Jurassic World, DC Villains, Harry Potter, Superheroes 2, Lego City Undercover, my favourite Lego game, bar none. It's Grand Theft Auto in a Lego world. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. No matter how cool Lego Batman is, You can't beat Grand Theft Auto in a Lego world. Incredibles. I've got that on GBA. And then we've got all the mainly Zelda games, Wind Waker, you know. Then we've got a Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. I bought they're on the Switch because when the PlayStation came out, get this. When the PlayStation came out, I was like, what's a PlayStation? Does it have a 3D Voodoo graphics card? Can you do 3D FX with a PlayStation? I was in a Rise of the Return to Castle Wolfenstein, Kingpin, the latest 3D Voodoo games. And I shat all over Spyro and Crash, and now I love them. Spyro's on the PS4. So, am I ever going to advance past the PS3 or the Xbox One? Probably not. And I'll tell you why now. These are crap. Some of these are absolute garbage. 2 Point Hospital with a controller, nah. Animal Crossing, of course, I've played it for years and I've just gotten very, very bored with it. But the reason why I don't... So you got Dragon's Dogma 1 and 2. 2's coming sometime soon. But... as you can see, I was saving up for an Xbox X. $1,000. I was saving up $1,000 for an Xbox X. And I don't need to do that anymore because I've just bought what the hell is it? Is it on your desktop? How could it be? What happens to a game when you've pre-ordered it? I don't know. Don't need an Xbox X now because I just bought Oblivion Remastered, the full version, which is this one here, Deluxe. I just bought it. So the computer that is running Battle.net, EA and Steam is not good enough to run Oblivion Remastered. It needs 6 cores. See all these Star Wars games that I own that I've never played? The reason I just bought a 6-pack of Star Wars games on the Switch was to play them, to get me motivated to play these. So it'll be like playing the game with a mouse and a keyboard compared to playing the game with the controller. For example, I was going to buy an Xbox X, and it has, with the Game Pass, you've got Age of Empires 1, 2 and 3 with a controller. What would that be like? But, so the ultimate goal is to beat Diablo and then Doom. And finish the games from the oldest to the newest. Can we do it? Let's find out. Thanks for watching. Bye. So the ultimate goal is to beat Diablo and then Doom, and finish the games from the oldest to the newest. Can we do it? Let's find out. Thanks for watching. Bye.